The famous artist Leonardo da Vinci, the great mathematician Kepler, and many other scientists loved this mysterious golden ratio. But what would they think if they knew about its connection to the Kaaba and the Qur'an? This is a secret that affects the whole world, a mysterious number that leads people to think about the world, space, and the hidden code of Allah. A miracle that will shock all of human history. The Kaaba's position, placed at the very heart of the earth, according to the golden ratio. Even scientists can't believe the data. The incredible connection between the greatest mysterious number, Kaaba, and the Quran. You'll be shocked too. Even big earthquakes and the movement of continents cannot change this ratio. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment, and share it so it can reach more people. If you are ready to hear this, let's begin. The most mysterious number in math, Leonardo da Vinci and the famous mathematician Luca Pacioli called this number the divine ratio and studied it deeply. Da Vinci was so focused on this number that he invented the first tool that could measure the golden ratio. He used it in almost all of his paintings to show balance and beauty. The famous astronomer Kepler, who discovered that planets move in elliptical orbits, said the golden ratio was a great all things in nature that look beautiful and balanced. Plants, animals, and even non-living things are designed with symmetry and the golden ratio. You can find it in the bodies of beautiful creatures, in how light reflects between layers, in the way plant leaves grow called phyllotaxis, and in many parts of the universe. There is a hidden design based on the golden ratio. In 1989, Professor Paul Davies discovered that spinning black holes have a connection to the golden ratio in their heat and energy system. Thousands of books and articles in respected science journals have been written about how the golden ratio appears in both art and science. Today, many things are designed using the golden ratio, like LED LCD TVs in 16:9 format, credit cards, buildings, and products, because it looks the most pleasing to the human eye. Fibonacci, the famous mathematician who introduced modern numbers to Europe and studied with Muslim scientists, became known for discovering a special number pattern. This pattern starts with 1 and creates the golden ratio. It carries signs about how all creation begins from 1. The secret of the number 1. The number 1, called Wahid in Arabic, is also one of the most important names of the Creator in the Quran. There is a strange and special connection between the golden ratio and the number 1. When the number 1 and its repeated fractions are added in a special way, they create the golden ratio. It reminds us of a creation that starts with 1 and continues with 1. When we look at the square root pattern going to infinity, the number 1 also gives the golden ratio. To find the square of the golden ratio, we just add 1 to the number. To find the reverse of the golden ratio, we subtract 1. There is no other number in math that works in this way. This makes the golden ratio unique. The golden ratio in the design of the Earth and the Moon. This amazing number also appears in the design of the Earth and the Moon. If we accept the radius of the Earth as 1 unit and place the Earth and the Moon together, the distance between their centers gives the square root of the golden ratio. The other side of the triangle that is formed also gives the golden ratio. The golden ratio in beauty. In a 25-year-long study on beauty, researchers found that faces and bodies designed using the golden ratio were always seen as beautiful and well-balanced by everyone. If we change the basic facial ratios and move them away from 1.618, the face starts to look less beautiful and less natural. This is a measurement written deep into our nature. This mysterious number has the power to unlock beauty and even plant the seeds of love and passion in the human heart. When we look at a face and think the mouth looks too wide or the face too long, it's often because we are unconsciously comparing it to this code, a code that holds the secret of beauty and love, a number created by the One, Al-Wahid, 1.618. So, where is the golden ratio point of the earth? Is it in Rome, the capital of Christianity, or Paris, the center of Europe? New York, the control center of the modern world? Or maybe in one of the many thousands of cities? The Qur'an calls Makkah the mother of cities and the holiest place. The distance from Makkah to the North Pole and from Makkah to the South Pole gives the exact golden ratio, 1.618. But that's not all. The ratio of the distance from Makkah to the South Pole compared to the distance between the two poles also gives 1.618. And it continues. Even on the latitude and longitude map, the global system we all use today, the golden ratio point of the Earth is in Makkah. The distance from Makkah to the east and west solstice line, where the day changes, also matches the golden ratio, 1.618, and the distance from Makkah to the west solstice line, compared to the total length of that latitude, also gives the golden ratio, 1.618. Even though the Earth has different diameters at each longitude, and despite small changes caused by tectonic shifts, tides, and other natural effects, the golden ratio point never leaves the borders of Makkah. It always remains within the sacred area that includes the Kaaba. Out of thousands of cities in the world, why does the golden ratio point fall inside Makkah? It's also meaningful that Makkah is positioned to the right, which is often seen as positive in religious teachings, and toward the upper part of the earth, which is considered special. Allah placed Prophet Adam in the most beautiful place on earth. He breathed from his spirit into the human soul, and he made us naturally love the golden ratio. This shows that the Creator also loves the golden ratio and designed his most special creations with it. And this is not only true when measured by the distances from the North and South Poles. Even with the modern latitude and longitude system created by Western countries in 1884 and still used by GPS today, the golden ratio point still falls inside Makkah. This reveals a profound truth. Even the maps and lines made by human hands cannot go beyond divine planning and destiny. This clear connection between Makkah and the golden ratio is proof that this harmony was placed by the Creator of the universe himself. There is a verse in the Qur'an that contains 47 letters. When we divide this number by the golden ratio, 1.618, we get 29. 47 divided by 1.618 equals 29. And from the start of that verse to the word Makkah, there are exactly 29 letters. Just like the world map, if there were even one letter more or less, the ratio wouldn't match. There was no manipulation. We simply counted the letters and found a perfect match that points to Makkah and the golden ratio. All of these signs show that the Creator of the earth and mathematics, Allah, is also the one who chose the place of the Kaaba and the holy city. He is the one true God. Through these miracles, he gives signs to the future and reminds all of humanity through their shared awareness. If the entire Kaaba fits the golden ratio, then why was that harmony broken by making it a cube? The answer lies deep in history. Prophet Ibrahim and his son Ismail rebuilt the Kaaba based on its original foundations that date back to the time of the first human being. They followed the command of Allah. But those original foundations also included a half-circle area that we now call Hatim. In fact, the Hatim was originally part of the Kaaba. But before Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam received revelation, a renovation left the Hatim outside, and the Kaaba was rebuilt as a cube. If we include the Hatim area as it was meant to be, the base of the Kaaba forms a rectangle about 13.1 meters wide and 21.2 meters long. The ratio of these two numbers is 1.618, the golden ratio. So in its original form, built with the help of angels, the Kaaba was designed according to the golden ratio. Also, 13 and 21 are two consecutive numbers in the Fibonacci sequence, which further supports this harmony. According to a hadith, the walls built by Ibrahim and Ismail were made of stacked stones without mortar. One side had about 38 layers and the other side had 20. Even in this simple construction, the ratio of 38 to 20 gives the golden ratio. But why would the Creator allow a part of the Kaaba to be removed and its history to change? At that time, the rich and noble Arabs only allowed wealthy people to enter the Kaaba. Poor people were not permitted to pray inside. But today, anyone can pray freely in the Hatim area, and that means they are praying inside the Kaaba. This change allowed all people, regardless of status or wealth, to connect with the sacred space equally. Now, look at this numerical sign from the Qur'an. The Qur'an contains 114 surahs, and the longest one has up to 286 verses. The chance that the first verse mentioning the Kaaba would match its real GPS coordinates is about 1 in 100,000. The Kaaba's latitude is 21 degrees and 25 minutes. The first verse in the Quran that mentions the Kaaba is Surah 2, verse 125. Is this precise match just a coincidence? Here is the verse. Remember when we made the Kaaba a place of gathering and safety for people. Surah 2, verse 125. Now consider how map coordinates work. 21 degrees and 25 minutes equals 21.42 in decimal form. Now look at Surah 2, verse 142. Some foolish people will say, what turned them away from the Qibla they used to face? Say, east and west belong to Allah. He guides whom He wills to the straight path. No matter how we look at it, these numbers and verses seem to keep pointing to the Kaaba. This kind of precision and harmony could only be possible through the knowledge of Allah, the one who knows everything. One of the most special things about the number 1.618, the symbol of beauty, perfect design, and even love, is that it goes on forever in a pattern that cannot be predicted. Its digits never end, and they can never be fully counted. There is a verse in the Quran that speaks about counting and connects this idea to the beautiful and countless blessings of Allah. It uses the words, "You can never count them," which holds deep meaning for anyone searching for signs of truth. If you try to count the blessings of Allah, you can never count them. Allah is most forgiving, most merciful. Surah 16, verse 18. Now if we go even deeper, using the number 0.33 in our calculations, and follow the coordinates of the Quran down to the level of letters, what do we find? The 33rd letter of Surah 16, verse 18, falls exactly in the middle of the word Allah. This means that the golden ratio point of the verse itself points directly to the name Allah. Yes, in this video, we explored the hidden, majestic miracles of Allah in both the Quran and the Kaaba using science and reason. Please subscribe to our channel and like this video so that more people can discover the miracles of the Qur'an. May Allah reward you all, bless your families with Jannat al-Firdaus, and protect the entire Muslim world from the trials of Ad-Dajjal and Sufyan.